Archangel Michael says, "Open now. It is reaching you now because the timing is precise. And the danger is very close. Do not scroll away. Do not treat this like another message passing across your screen. You have 30 seconds to open your spirit before the sign you have been asking God for moves past you again. And this time, the miracle you begged for may not arrive in the way you expected. This is not random. This is not the algorithm. This is not curiosity. This is a divine interruption. And heaven is pressing against your attention because something near you has been quietly fighting your peace. The place where you sleep. The place where you pray. The place where you close the door and try to breathe again, has been carrying a weight you did not invite. You thought it was stress. You thought it was exhaustion. You thought it was just another hard season. But your spirit knew better. That heaviness in the room. That strange unrest in your chest. That sudden confusion when you try to focus. That feeling that something is watching from the corners of your private space. Those were not empty feelings. They were sacred signals. God has been warning you through discomfort because He refuses to let darkness hide in a place assigned for your restoration. Something connected to your space has been pulling against your destiny, slowing your clarity, disturbing your sleep, and making your heart feel tired before the day even begins. But hear this clearly: the enemy did not attack your room because you are weak. He attacked it because your room was becoming an altar. Your tears were heard there. Your prayers rose from there. Your hidden preparation happened there. And now, before your visible breakthrough steps into the open, heaven is exposing what must be removed. If this message is already touching something deep inside you, stay with it. Like this video as a sign that you choose light over confusion. And subscribe if you know God has been waking you up through signs you could no longer ignore. Because the place you thought was only your bedroom may be the very place where the war over your destiny has been hiding. Your room has been speaking, but you kept explaining the signs away. You walked in and felt the air change, but you told yourself you were just tired. You woke up after a full night of sleep and still felt drained. But you blamed your schedule. You noticed your thoughts becoming scattered, your prayers becoming harder, your patience becoming thinner. But you called it stress because that was easier than admitting your spirit was trying to warn you. Yet God is not the author of confusion. When peace suddenly leaves a place where peace used to live, something has shifted. When your own private space begins to feel unfamiliar, heaven is asking you to pay attention. This is not about fear. This is about discernment. There is a sacred signal hidden inside the discomfort you have been ignoring. Maybe there is one corner of your room that feels heavier than the rest. Maybe you avoid looking at a certain shelf, a certain bag, a certain box, a certain object, but you do not know why. Maybe every time you lie down, your mind becomes crowded with strange memories, sudden worries, or thoughts that do not even sound like you. Maybe your dreams have become restless, filled with unknown faces, old places, broken symbols, or conversations you cannot fully remember when you wake up. That is not nothing. That is not random. Your spirit has been picking up what your eyes have not yet identified. And this is why the warning is urgent. The thing disturbing you did not have to be large to be dangerous. Sometimes the smallest doorway creates the loudest warfare. A gift, a decoration, a piece of clothing, a book, a photo, a harmless-looking item that entered your room through someone you trusted. And since it arrived, your clarity has not been the same. Your emotions have been easier to trigger. Your motivation has been weaker. Your relationships have felt more tense. Even your body may have been telling you the truth. Heaviness in your chest, pressure in your head, sudden chills, a strange resistance when you try to pray. Listen closely, your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is part of your protection. God did not make you spiritually awake so you could ignore every warning He sends. He has been training your discernment in the very place where you felt most confused. So before you rush past this, ask yourself, have you felt something different in your room lately? Something you could not explain but could not deny? If yes, Write, "I discern the signal" in the comments, because your agreement matters. And if this message is confirming what you have been sensing, subscribe now, because heaven does not wake you up without giving you the next instruction. But the room is only the surface. The deeper question is this: who wanted access to your peace? There is a kind of smile that does not bless you. It studies you. It measures the light in your eyes, the peace in your voice, the way you keep rising after things that were supposed to bury you. And behind that smile, envy begins to make plans. This woman did not come toward you wearing darkness on her face. That would have been too easy to recognize. She came softly. She came with concern. She came with compliments that felt slightly cold, with questions that sounded innocent but reached too deeply, with a kindness that never left you fully rested after receiving it. You felt it, not loudly, not clearly at first, just a small tightening in your spirit after speaking with her, a strange tiredness after she left, a quiet sense that something about her attention was not clean. And still, because your heart is not cruel, you gave her the benefit of the doubt. You told yourself she meant well. You told yourself you were overthinking. You kept the peace, even while your spirit was losing peace in her presence. But heaven is uncovering what politeness tried to hide. She was not disturbed by your weakness. She was disturbed by your recovery. She watched you survive what should have made you bitter. And instead of collapsing, you became deeper. She watched God restore pieces of you that others thought were permanently broken. She saw the blueprint over your life before you fully understood it yourself. And something in her could not accept that you were still glowing. That is why this attack moved through hidden places. Not through open confrontation, not through obvious hatred, through access, through proximity, through a small doorway created by trust. She wanted to leave something close enough to your rest that it could touch your dreams, close enough to your atmosphere that it could cloud your decisions, close enough to your private world that you would begin to doubt yourself without knowing why. This is how spiritual warfare often works. It does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers through the people who know how to look harmless. Sometimes it hides behind a soft voice, a generous hand, a familiar face, a gift you felt guilty refusing. But the Spirit of God is sharper than disguise. What looked like support is being weighed. What sounded like friendship is being tested. What entered your life with sweetness is now being exposed by truth. Archangel Michael says the mask is already cracking. And soon you will understand why your body became uneasy before your mind had evidence. You were not being dramatic. You were being protected. The same God who warned Joseph in dreams, the same God who led his people away from danger before they could see the full threat, has been guiding you through signals too personal to ignore. Do not hate her. Do not chase her. Do not waste your strength trying to prove what heaven is already revealing. Just pay attention. Her greatest fear is not your anger. Her greatest fear is your awakening. Because once you see the doorway, she can no longer use it. And the most dangerous thing she left behind may not look dangerous at all. The object is not screaming for attention because hidden warfare rarely arrives dressed like a threat. It may be sitting quietly where your eyes pass over it every day. It may look beautiful. It may look sentimental. It may even look useful. A small gift, a piece of jewelry, a folded note, a photograph, a decoration, a book, a cloth, a box you never open, something placed near your bed, inside a drawer, behind another item, on a shelf, in a bag you forgot about, or in a corner you keep avoiding without knowing why. But your spirit knows. Your body knows. There is a reason your hand hesitates around certain things. There is a reason your chest tightens when you move near a specific place. There is a reason you feel resistance when you try to clean that area, pray in that room, or finally put things in order. That object may not carry danger in its appearance, but it carries a connection. It carries access. It carries a memory, a touch, an intention, a hidden agreement that was never meant to bless you. This is why the Lord is not only telling you to look around, He is telling you to discern. Do not rush. Do not panic. Stand still in the room and let your spirit become quiet. Ask God to reveal what does not belong. Ask Him to make the wrong thing feel heavy in your hand. Ask Him to uncover the doorway that has been disturbing your peace. Because when heaven exposes something, it does not always come with thunder. Sometimes it comes as a sudden knowing, a strange coldness, a pressure in your stomach, a thought that says, "Why is this still here?" That is not imagination. That is instruction. The enemy often enters through what you tolerate, what you keep out of guilt, what you refuse to release because it once had emotional meaning. But the appointed time has come for your room to stop being a storage place for old access. It must become holy ground again. Isaiah 54:17 declares that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. But you must stop decorating your sanctuary with what was formed against your peace. You cannot ask for divine acceleration while holding on to an object tied to delay. You cannot pray for restoration while giving space to something that drains your clarity. You cannot step fully into your breakthrough while a hidden doorway remains open behind you. So look again. Not with fear, with authority. Not with suspicion toward everyone, with surrender to God. The right object will reveal itself through the witness in your spirit. And when it does, do not negotiate with it. Do not romanticize it. Do not let nostalgia defend what discernment has already exposed. Remove it from your space. Let the doorway close. Let the atmosphere shift. And if you feel this warning striking something real inside you, like this video and share it with someone whose room has felt heavy for too long. Because once you recognize the doorway, heaven will show you how to close it. Do not make noise when heaven gives you strategy. Do not run to confront her. Do not send a message with trembling fingers. Do not post a warning where curious eyes can gather around your pain. This battle is not asking for a public reaction. It is asking for sacred obedience. When God reveals what has been disturbing your atmosphere, move with calm authority. Pray first. Breathe deeply. Let your spirit settle until fear loses its voice and discernment becomes clear. Then stand in your room like someone who remembers who covers them. You are not searching as a victim. You are searching as one protected by the Most High. Open the drawer. Look beneath the bed. Check the shelf you keep avoiding. Touch the forgotten bag. The old box. The strange gift. The thing you kept only because guilt told you it would be rude to let it go. And when your spirit tightens around one object, do not argue with the warning. Do not ask your emotions to defend what your discernment has already exposed. Some things must leave before peace can return. Some doors must close before God opens the next one. And hear this clearly, you do not have to hate the person connected to it in order to remove the access. You do not have to become bitter to become free. You can forgive and still shut the door. You can bless and still create distance. You can release her into God's hands and refuse to let her energy sit one more night beside your rest. Remove the object from your room. Remove it from your home. Do not keep it nearby for memory. Do not let nostalgia make a shrine out of a snare. Once it is gone, reclaim the space out loud. Speak life into the room. Speak peace over the bed. Speak protection over the door. Speak clarity over your mind. Let the name of Jesus fill the corners where heaviness once settled. Open the window if you can. Let the air move. Let the light touch what felt hidden. And as you do, understand what is really happening. You are not just cleaning a room. You are taking authority over an atmosphere. You are telling darkness that it no longer has permission to sit where your prayers rise. You are telling confusion that it no longer owns your sleep. You are telling delay that its assignment has expired. This is the divine shift. This is the threshold. This is the moment your private obedience begins to unlock public restoration. The woman may never know exactly what you did, but her influence will know. The weight will know. The silence will know. And heaven will know that you obeyed the sacred signal. Move quietly. Move wisely. Move now. Because the moment the wrong thing leaves your room, the right thing begins to return to your life. The shift will come faster than you expect. But do not mistake the first breath of peace for the end of the battle. When the wrong thing leaves your room, the atmosphere will notice. Your body may feel it before your mind can name it. A pressure that has been sitting on your chest may begin to lift. The air may feel lighter. The silence may no longer feel threatening. You may lie down and realize, for the first time in a long time, that your thoughts are not running in circles. That is not coincidence. That is restoration entering through the doorway obedience just closed. The Lord does not expose darkness only to frighten you. He exposes it because He is ready to return what has been delayed. Your sleep is coming back. Your clarity is coming back. Your prayer life is coming back. Your strength is coming back. The ideas that vanished without reason. The motivation that kept slipping away. The peace that felt stolen from your own hands. All of it begins to move again when the hidden interference is removed. This is divine acceleration. This is the first sound of your breakthrough waking up. But listen carefully, because this is where many people fail the test. After the object is gone, the person connected to that access may try to reappear in a softer form. She may send a message that sounds innocent. She may ask how you are doing. She may suddenly act concerned. She may offer another gift, another apology, another reason to step close to your atmosphere again. Do not be fooled by timing that arrives right after your freedom begins. Forgiveness does not mean open access. Mercy does not mean you hand the key back to someone who used your trust against your peace. You can release her without receiving her again. You can pray for her without placing her near your destiny. You can be clean in your heart and still firm at the door. Archangel Michael says, guard the peace that God just restored. Do not let guilt become the new doorway. Do not let loneliness reopen what discernment closed. The enemy often returns through emotion after losing access through objects. He will use nostalgia. He will use pity. He will use your desire to believe the best in people. But this time, your spirit will recognize the pattern faster. You will feel the pause before you answer. You will notice the heaviness before you agree. You will sense the warning before you explain it away. That is not fear. That is wisdom sharpened by warfare. And now your room must remain under divine order. Speak peace there daily. Let worship fill the corners. Let scripture rest on your lips. Let the name of Jesus become the sound that darkness cannot remain near. The promise is not fragile, but your access must be guarded. The breakthrough that is coming needs a clean atmosphere. The abundance that is returning needs a protected vessel. The restoration that God prepared for you cannot be shared with every person who is curious about your rise. So if you know this message is confirming something deep inside your spirit, write this declaration in the comments. My room belongs to God. My peace is protected. Like this video as an act of agreement. And subscribe if you know heaven has been guiding you through signs you can no longer ignore. Because after the object is gone, the deeper cleansing begins inside your heart. The room did not just get lighter. You did. Something inside you has stopped bowing to the atmosphere that once controlled your emotions. You are beginning to understand that this was never only about an object. Never only about a strange heaviness. Never only about one woman's hidden envy. This was about authority. Your authority. The authority God placed inside you before you ever learned how to defend it. For too long, you walked through your own space like a guest under invisible pressure. You lowered your voice in the very place where you should have been free. You carried a tiredness that did not belong to your body. A confusion that did not belong to your mind. A sorrow that kept returning even after you prayed it away. But now the veil is tearing. Now you see it. The enemy was not just trying to disturb your sleep. He was trying to train you to accept disturbance as normal. He was not just trying to cloud your thoughts. He was trying to make you distrust the voice of God inside your own spirit. But that training has failed. The old spell of self-doubt is breaking. You are not too sensitive. You are not unstable. You are not imagining the difference between peace and poison. You are being sharpened. God has been teaching your discernment in silence, letting you feel what words could not explain, letting your spirit recognize what your eyes had not yet confirmed. And now the same room that once felt heavy is becoming a witness. The walls that heard your quiet prayers are hearing your authority return. The floor that held your tired footsteps is now holy ground beneath someone who has remembered they are covered. The bed where you wrestled with strange dreams and restless thoughts is being reclaimed as a place of rest, not warfare. The corner that felt cold is being filled with light. The air is changing because you are changing. Psalm 91 is no longer just a verse people quote when they are afraid. It is becoming the atmosphere around you. You are learning what it means to dwell under the shelter of the Most High. Not visit it for a moment. Not run to it only when attacked. But live from that place. Breathe from that place. Decide from that place. This is why your next season will require a different version of you. Not louder. Not harder. Not suspicious of everyone. Just awake. Steady. Consecrated. A person who can forgive without surrendering access. Love without losing boundaries. Move forward without dragging old shadows behind them. God is not merely cleaning your room. He is restoring your command over the space He assigned to you. He is placing your voice back in your mouth. He is putting fire back into your prayers. He is teaching your peace to stand guard at the door. And soon, when you walk into that room, you will not feel watched by darkness. You will feel met by heaven. You will know this is where I was attacked. But this is also where I was awakened. This is where I almost broke. But this is where God rebuilt my authority. And once your authority returns, the wrong people will no longer know how to reach you the same way again. The old access is broken. And that is why the air around you feels different now. Not empty. Different. There is a silence that comes after freedom which can feel unfamiliar at first, because your spirit had grown used to fighting noise in places where peace should have lived. But do not run back to what God just delivered you from simply because calm feels strange. Do not confuse quiet with loneliness. Do not confuse distance with loss. Do not confuse the absence of chaos with the absence of love. What left your life was not your covering. What left was the hidden hand that kept touching your peace without permission. And now, the doors that once opened through guilt, memory, fear, pity, and old attachment are being sealed by the authority of God. She may still try to reach you through familiar channels. A casual message, a mutual friend, a soft apology, a sudden reminder of the past, a story designed to make you question whether you were too harsh, too guarded, too serious about what God showed you. But this time, you will not be moved by presentation alone. You will listen for the spirit behind it. You will notice whether peace enters with the person or pressure enters with them. You will feel the difference between reconciliation sent by God and access disguised as concern. This is not bitterness. This is wisdom. This is not revenge. This is maturity. This is not fear. This is discernment standing at the gate of your destiny. You do not need to expose her to everyone. You do not need to gather evidence until your soul is exhausted. You do not need to argue with people who were never assigned to understand your obedience. Let heaven handle what is hidden. Let God judge what was done in secret. Your assignment is not to chase darkness. Your assignment is to guard the light. Protect your peace like gold. Protect your room like an altar. Protect your next move like a sacred blueprint still being written by the hand of God. Speak less. React slower. Share less. Pray more. Let your growth become quiet evidence that the chains are broken. Because when old access is cut off, your energy stops leaking into people who never intended to honor it. Your thoughts become clearer. Your mornings become lighter. Your decisions become sharper. You stop explaining your boundaries to those who benefited from your confusion. And this is where your glow becomes dangerous to darkness. Not because you are loud, but because you are no longer available for manipulation. Not because you attacked anyone, but because you stopped handing out keys to your inner world. If this message is speaking directly to the season you are in, like this video, as a declaration that you choose silence over reaction, and share it with someone who needs to know that not every battle requires a public fight. Sometimes the victory is private. Sometimes the breakthrough begins when you stop answering what God already told you to leave behind. And now that the old access is broken, heaven can release what was being held back. The breakthrough that was delayed is now moving. And this time, it will not move like before. It will not crawl through fear, drag itself through confusion, or beg for permission from the people who secretly benefited from your delay. It is rising with authority. It is rising with divine timing. It is rising because the atmosphere around you has changed, and what was blocked in silence is beginning to answer the voice of God again. You are about to understand why the enemy fought so hard to keep your room heavy. He was not only attacking your sleep, he was attacking your next instruction. He was attacking the place where God gives you ideas before the world sees results. He was attacking the quiet place where your blueprint was being formed. But now the interference is breaking, and the things that felt impossible to finish will begin to open in your hands again. The idea you kept abandoning will return with fire. The opportunity that kept slipping away will come back with clearer timing. The money that seemed delayed, the conversation that never happened, the door that stayed closed, the person who could not see your value. The strength you kept trying to recover movement is coming, not because you forced it, not because you chased it, because heaven has cleared the path that darkness tried to contaminate. This is your appointed time, and appointed time does not need public approval. It only needs obedience. You may notice small signs first. A sudden peace while making a decision. A message arriving at the exact hour you needed confirmation. A dream that feels clean instead of chaotic. A solution appearing after weeks of mental fog. A person stepping away and another person stepping in. Do not despise these signs because they look small. Sacred movement often begins quietly. Before a visible breakthrough appears, God often restores the inner order that can carry it. He restores your breath. He restores your focus. He restores your hunger for life. He restores the part of you that stopped expecting good news because disappointment had visited too many times. But here, this delay did not cancel your destiny. Delay did not erase the promise. Delay did not prove that God forgot you. Some delays were protection. Some delays were preparation. Some delays were warfare that is now losing its grip. The blueprint over your life is still alive. The grand design has not expired. The promise still has your name on it. And now that the wrong access is broken, divine provision can reach you without being drained by hidden interference. Restoration is not only coming to your room, it is coming to your calendar, your work, your confidence, your relationships, your decisions, your finances, your voice, your future. The season that made you feel buried was secretly teaching you how to carry abundance without surrendering discernment. The season that made you quiet was training you to hear God more clearly. The season that made you lonely was separating you from people who could not enter the next chapter with clean hands. Now, acceleration begins. But it will not feel reckless. It will feel holy. You will not have to explain every door. You will not have to announce every move. You will not have to convince everyone that the shift is real. Your peace will show it. Your face will show it. Your decisions will show it. The people who thought you were finished will begin to sense that something has changed, but they will not be able to control it anymore. And before this message closes, there is one final secret heaven wants you to understand. The room where the enemy tried to delay you is the same room where God is about to release the instruction that changes everything. Your room is no longer a trap. It is a sanctuary. The place where heaviness once pressed against your chest is becoming the place where peace begins to breathe again. The place where confusion whispered through the night is becoming the place where God speaks with clarity. The place where you cried in silence, wrestled with restless thoughts, and wondered why your strength kept disappearing is now being reclaimed by heaven as holy ground. Do not forget what happened here. Do not treat this message as entertainment. You were stopped for a reason. You were warned because your peace matters. You were awakened because your destiny matters. You were guided because the promise over your life is too important to be left under hidden interference. The door darkness used is closing. The old chains are breaking. The false access is being removed. And from this moment forward, You must not let guilt, nostalgia, or fear reopen what God has commanded you to shut. Not every person deserves a key to your atmosphere. Not every gift belongs in your space. Not every familiar voice is safe for your next season. You are crossing a threshold now, and the version of you that tolerated confusion just to keep peace cannot come with you. This new season requires a sharper spirit, a quieter strength, and a deeper surrender. Your dreams will become clearer. Your discernment will become stronger. Your prayers will carry fire again. Divine provision will begin to move toward you without being drained by hidden hands. Restoration will not only touch your room, it will touch your mind, your health, your work, your relationships, and the doors connected to your future. Archangel Michael says, guard what heaven has restored. Let your room remain clean, peaceful, protected, and filled with the presence of God. Let worship rise where heaviness once lived. Let scripture sit where fear once whispered. Let your peace become the proof that darkness lost access. If this message confirms something you have felt for a long time, like this video right now. Subscribe to this channel so you do not miss the next prophetic warning and divine confirmation God sends for your season. Share this with someone whose space has felt heavy and unexplained. And write this declaration in the comments. My room is sacred. My peace is protected. My breakthrough is here. The door that darkness used is closed. The door that God opened before you is still standing. Step through it.